just not getting a whole lot of time for video games lately, guys. That's just the way it is. Got Slapped right here. This is Wendy Carpenter's movie, and it's been improved to 5.2, but it does have the stale elements that love interest. That happens to be Wendy's character. Looks like it's going to be good August 11th. So we got a little bit of time there. I think it'll be fine. We can always, prolong it and release it back then, but we'll go ahead and start it up, and let's go ahead and get Carl Brooks to be on it. Low quality is fine. So last week, I had my schedule like all laid out so I could just have this video. I have these videos almost every day. And then we had a big snowstorm and stuff, and they closed the schools for 2 days. And then that butted up right up against a day where they already had school scheduled to close for like teacher training stuff. So basically no school from Wednesday all the way through Sunday, of course. And so I'm just daddy duties. I can't get any time at all. It's just it's holidays and all that stuff. So I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Caribbean. We have a new setting available. Thank you, Bernard. Well done. We can have movies take place in the Caribbean now. That's fair. Or is it Caribbean? Which one do you say? I don't know. I usually say Pirates of the Caribbean, because just, I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't sound good to me. But then when I'm looking at it without that title, it's just like I'm going to the Caribbean. So I probably should be one or the other, right? The Sicilian Tiger. Let's go ahead and set up distribution for this again. It's got pretty good screenings here. Still making a pretty good chunk of change here. We only had 31% on attendance with 3,600 screenings. So we're looking at, like, I could be good with 1,000 showings right now. I'd be good with that. So we can go like maybe here with it. Let's get this to 0, of course. Get this to 0. And we'd be good to be about here. Now, I've been asked why I do this. Why not just have it take up more space if it's available? And it doesn't make a difference, okay? Unless it sits at 100% here. Unless you see 100% on this number, then it made a difference. But if it has 99% or less, then that didn't make a difference. Where this is going to make a difference later, though, is when we start to rent out our own theater space, because I want to keep it open for renting it out to other people. That's where it will make a difference. So I'm kind of just getting into the habit of doing it now because it doesn't make a difference. And yeah, I mean, unless I dramatically if I dramatically underserve it, then okay, fine, you win. But otherwise, like, why do you care? 5.0 here, 4.3 there, but we're locking in fresh story elements for Dark Saber. The post-production is done, and we can get it set up. Let's go Dark Saber here, I guess. We can get it set up for distribution now. So it's all fresh. Well, jokes at the table. If I bring it at the same time here, I'm going to have to rent theater space from others, and I don't want to do that. We can come over to about here. It looks like that should be good. Plus the 6 weeks it's going to bring it to here anyway. Okay. So 5.0. This is basically 5.0. We can rent a little bit of screenings from other people here just to really make sure that it's, getting something there. And then we'll go maybe like here, and then we'll bring it down to, let's say, here. And then we'll bring it down to, let's say, here. Okay. That should be all right. I think, honestly, this is probably too many, to be honest. Like, we could probably go even less than that. I think maybe I'll only rent like 225. It's fine. And then advertising starts immediately. We're going to renew this film, so we'll go 2 weeks into the future there. And then for this one, you see Dark Saber here. So we're looking at Working Man, Bandit. This is a thriller comedy adventure taking place in a modern American city. All right, I'm going to take and get you 3. Although, not you. No, I think maybe you instead. We'll go like this. Okay. Onwards. Confirming that. I think that will make us some money. Hello, Coleman Graves. Have you read The Pilgrim Chronicles? Oh, of course you have. It's the best-selling American novel of all time. At least that's what Professor Cotton is telling everyone at parties. While I stand off to the side, taking down the names and phone numbers of all the bigwigs who come to congratulate him on his success. Someday, when the time is right, I'll tell everyone the truth about how this book came to be. I don't hold anything against Cotton. After all, he gave me a job as his secretary, and when many at the university were against it. Sometimes, I even managed to squeeze in an hour or two to write. Why don't I publish? Every publisher I approach says they can't sell a book with a black face smiling at the readers on the back cover. But in the movies, nobody knows what color the people are in the credits, right? So I turned one of my short stories into a screenplay, and I'm willing to give it to you if you'll agree to make it into a film within a reasonable time frame. Let's say 3 years. Don't worry, I won't start shouting from the rooftops that I wrote the film. It will be an investment in the future. A future where America is a little more tolerant, and I'll finally have a real chance to prove myself. The story is about my sister, so it means a lot to me. I'm not an idiot, though. I know that a black girl and the lead role is out of the question, but at least let it be a decent actress, all right? And if everything works out, I'll do my best to be useful to you, as much as a person who understands something about stories can be useful in this movie business. So are you going to be like it's a new writer, right? I can maybe get a new writer out of this. I like it. Let's give it a shot. I can look at the script. That's great. Yeah. So this one's called Flat Bottom. It's a 100% drama. Oh, good. So, protagonist, ambitious woman. Well, that's definitely not saturated today. In the small town, there lived a girl named Lisa Graves. While the other girls dreamed of marrying a rich man, Lisa aspired to become an engineer, so her inventions could make the difficult lives of ordinary people a little easier. In the winter, Lisa would make sleds for her younger brothers. In the summer, she sewed kites for them. These pleasant moments lifted her thoughts from Sally's bakery, where tedious labor awaited her every morning. Struggle for a better life. We have used quite a bit of that, so be mindful of that. If you want to work for me, you'll carry sacks like everyone else, the baker owner grumbled as she rolled up her sleeves. Lisa worked tirelessly until her palms were covered in bloody calluses. Her face was tender from the heat of the ovens, and sweat-soaked work clothes stuck to her body. But no matter how difficult things got, Lisa found ways to show her talent. One particularly muggy day, she glued together a strange contraption from wrapping paper, a handy bag with a flat bottom. Large loaves would no longer fall out and roll around on the counter. Social rejection, that's a new one. When Lisa shared her invention with the other bakery workers, they only sneered. Don't make things up, silly girl. Maybe you should open your own bakery where the bread jumps into your mouth by itself. Upset, Lisa told her parents everything, but even they didn't take her side. Nobody likes upstarts, dear. Just do your job and keep your head down. Lisa realized that being smart in this backwater was like flying a kite in a dead calm. You could run around in circles all day, but nothing was going to fly. From small town to big time. One day, returning from work, Lisa noticed a poster on a bulletin board. Private Bureau of Inventors, Chicago. Turn your idea into $1 million. The very next morning, Lisa put on her only clean dress, laced up her shabby boots, and headed for the big city. The office building was tucked between a shoe repair shop and a diner that smelled of fried onions. Rather than shining storefronts and people in suits, Lisa found a dusty office with a crooked sign reading Calder's Bureau of Inventions. For a moment, the girl was tempted to turn and go home, but it was too late to retreat. Patriarchal figure. This is a powerful man who fetters the will and stymies the aspirations of women. We have plenty of those on our team. Frank Calder, the office's gloomy owner, listened to Lisa's idea and shook his head. My dear, it's a funny idea, but a bag is not an invention. For someone to invest money in this, you'd need a machine that could churn out thousands of them. If something more serious pops into your sweet head, please come by. Lisa returned that very evening with a drawing of the machine. Frank ran his eyes over the paper and chuckled with satisfaction. My dear, now you work for me. And so Lisa became an engineer. Frank brought her raw ideas and she refined them and turned them into workable projects. But Frank never missed a chance to keep Lisa in her place. Without me, you're nothing. No one needs your scribbles. Lisa always nodded obediently and set herself to fulfilling Frank's every whim, fearful of losing her dream job. Especially since he promised to bring her idea to life. Bags with a flat bottom. Just as soon as the company got on its feet. But one day, she visited the bakery across the street, and Lisa saw those familiar bags in the hands of satisfied customers. This flat bottom is some kind of miracle, said an elderly lady with admiration as she put a huge loaf of white bread into the bag. At once, Lisa understood everything. Frank was a thief who took other people's inventions and patented them under his own name. Fighting the hypocrisy of American life. We've done that quite a bit too. Lisa collected all of her drawings and went to seek justice. The patent office laughed and showed the girl the door. The police said they didn't investigate such nonsense, and the lawyer Lisa tried to hire only condescendingly patted her on the shoulder and advised her to help to find herself a good husband as soon as possible. In desperation, Lisa burst into Frank's office. You pathetic slug. You stole my invention while I was slaving over diagrams from morning to night. Frank, who at that moment was trying on a new suit in front of the mirror, froze in horror. In a fury, Lisa swept everything off the tables and shelves. She was having a nervous breakdown. The protagonist's dreams are crushed. Yikes. So this is when reality turns out to be cruel and inexorable. The protagonist's dreams were never destined to come true, but did their desperate attempts perhaps pave the way for future dreamers? Ooh, a little bit of a twist there. Frightened, Frank called the police. Two large men in uniform overpowered her and took the hysterical Lisa away without asking a single question. That evening, Frank phoned an old friend and called in a favor. He wanted the girl locked up in a mental hospital for the foreseeable future. Lisa was never seen again, either in Chicago or in her hometown. A farewell letter addressed to her younger brother was all that remained. Go to the bakery and buy a big round bun. Along with it, you'll receive my greatest invention. So I guess the idea behind a film like that, where the protagonist's hopes and dreams are crushed, is kind of like to get... It's not to... There's no happy ending there, right? And so it's kind of to influence the minds of those watching the movie so that they can feel the injustice. They feel like something is wrong and it wasn't resolved. And it kind of brings these problems that people are facing, and it makes them more personal, or at least more visible to people who don't experience those problems. And it makes them aware of it. So it's basically a film that's about raising awareness. Because if we resolved it and everything lived happily ever after, then there's no problem. And I don't leave the theater thinking I need to, phone my senator or something, right? So that's the kind of idea that we're going for here with this kind of film. Okay, kid, let's give it a shot. So this is Flat Bottom. It has a maximum score of a 7. And once we start producing it, it could be an 8. So we do actually want to give some pretty good stuff here. So far, all the elements are fresh, and I'd like to, I think, dedicate some pretty good time to this if I could. We can have Ralph Taylor do this. Excellent stats on him. We'll give him a little bit of whiskey to cheer him up a bit. And he's an undisciplined, though. I think I'd rather have the perfectionist. He's an 8.7. You know what? I'm gonna take the undisciplined dude. All right, I can give him a different project. This is gonna be Everett's instead, because he's the perfectionist. It'll take a little longer, but at least we won't have like the big chance of lots and lots of delays. It'll just be like the fact that he's, I guess it can lead to stress and overwork, even if it doesn't improve the result. I guess they're both kind of wreaks havoc on deadlines and schedules. Yeah, I'm trying not to have that happen. So we're gonna say we give you Soundstage B, and our city streets will be in this soundstage. Movie theater, station. I guess we could just go soundstage everywhere here. We get a 2-star quality on that. We need a level 4 soundstage to get to level 3. That's crazy. For this, you need high quality locations and also requires international location scouting. I feel like that's not... I feel like this line here should be international location scouting, but okay. So we'll go with this, though. This is a 95-day production time. It should be fine. Filming technology, the extra, of course, and then we're going to give you all the fixins that you need to make yourself a great film. Now, for the producers, we don't have a really high-end producer available. We are shooting some other stuff right now. So I could wait on that, or I could find one that is great and hire him for a single film. Now, having a misogynist on this film probably doesn't seem like a great idea, and there's no one else that's really good other than maybe Ralph Brewster would be okay here. But I think I'm better off here waiting for Bruce Hammond to become available in 36 days. Although he's going to be tied up until his film releases, though. Yeah, hang on. He's going to be tied up until the film releases. We have 104 days until producers can do multiple projects. And I have 1,000 days left to release this film. So that's not too bad. We'll leave it here for now. I have 1,000 days left on that. It's okay. And we'll get it released to the world later. All right, tiger-faced killer. Basically no improvement there. It's very minor. But we had, low talent here. So the fact that I have 2.3s, mid 2s talents, and I still got a 4 out of it is pretty good, actually. We'll go into post-production straight away. We're probably going to reduce the quality of this because I am going to give it to a little lower quality editors here just to get them up here. I'm thinking maybe Oliver should take this one. I don't think I can make him happier, but we'll give him a shot here to be a little happier. Let Oliver in on this. Let's go with Ortiz. And again, they're not going to do great work, but hopefully they don't bring it past, like, say, a 3.4 or something like that. And we'll give them improved stuff to help them out. Okay. So that'll be great for now. In other news, or in other films we could do, maybe Rings on Every Finger could get started. It has some stale elements until May. And we'll be able to release that. It's a sidekick thing. These are both sidekicks. So if I release them, then they're going to stay stale for the next film anyway. What else do you have for elements here? You're on the tippy top here on Damsel in Distress. And you are going to also use up the protagonist rescuing the hostage. Which none of these other films are actually using, so we should be all right there. This one here is gonna take down Working Man. Rival is gonna get creamed. Wow. Okay, Struggle for Better Life. So this film's not ready yet. We need to wait on that one. That script is just not ready yet. If we buy some scripts here, this one's fairly cheap. Not a cent more. For $27,000, I feel like I could probably have a script of my own written for less than this with better elements. So I'm gonna hold off on that. And let's take a look and talk to my writers here really quick. All right, well, there's Felix, right? So 4.9. Let's have him finish, and we'll get an action script written for Felix, I think is where we want to go. So we need an action script. And we're gonna call this one I know I'm borrowing from another movie right now. I get it, but I like it. Last Action Hero. Awesome movie, by the way. Schwarzenegger. It's fantastic. It's old. You should go watch it. It's a classic. Last Action Hero. It has some action. It has some thriller elements too, I suppose. It has some adventure. It got a few comedy moments there too. I think I'm gonna go maybe something like this for this particular one. And then our setting, we can actually base this in the Caribbean. And I realize the title I'm borrowing it from is not based in the Caribbean, but I could also do this. Another thing is I could make this a pirate movie. I could make that here. I could make it, let's say, Deep Booty. A little Freudian slip there, actually spelling out Depp. Isn't that nice? Deep Booty. Because it's treasure, it's booty in the deep. Okay, there it is. This is now an action adventure with some comedy for sure. This is very Pirates of the Caribbean mix here, I think. I'd probably go maybe more like this for it. Yeah, it's pretty close. We'll go maybe like that. And again, Caribbean is where we're going to go. So this is Deep Booty. And for that, we want, let's honestly, Retired Legend. Why not? Let's bring the Retired Legend in here. This could be like, let's say in 10 years, they decide to make one more Pirates movie and Johnny Depp's got like gray hair and he's old. But Captain Jack Sparrow's coming out of retirement to do something, right? That could be a thing. Antagonist. This one is going to be, I feel like an evil sorcerer would be kind of cool here. A tribal chief probably works better for the Caribbean, though. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I think we'll go tribal chief for this one. And we want to be very careful here on this stuff. So worried wife doesn't really work for what I'm going for here. There's no angry boss in this. We have basically everything saturated here aside from worried wife. I really need some more elements because we're running out of them here. Worried wife. Maybe his wife is worried about him coming out of retirement or something. It sounds weird for this, but we'll go themes here. Let's get the themes in here. So let's have, I like bank robbery, but that's not working for me. Ancient puzzle works for the island. Avenging loved ones would work, but it's very saturated. Wow. Let's get shootouts. Yeah, why not? Sure. I don't really want the slapstick here. We could be Prison Break is pretty good for this. Yeah, we could have that. Protagonist is pulled back in. Yes. Thought he'd retired, but emerging circumstances. Yes, that works very well with Retired Legends. We have 2 more elements we can place in here. Let's have the treasure hunt. And then the finale for this would be protagonist finding the treasure. So that's pretty complicated. I like it. 8 elements for this. We have some stuff that really complements it. I think the tribal chief in Caribbean probably works pretty well. I'm not sure these 2 things work well, but the action, the adventure, there's a treasure hunt and finding the treasure. These 2 things go together. These 2 things here go really well together. And then, you know, with the whole Caribbean thing and the pirate ship kind of in the picture, I feel like these 2 things definitely work really well. So this is going to have some decent synergy, and it is an action movie. So having Felix write it should work. So let's go ahead and let Felix do that. That's going to be Deep Booty. I got a feeling Deep Booty is going to turn into a trilogy. Okay. All right, the toy ship. 54% of 1900. So just under 1,000 showings is left here. That's pretty good. We can go in and just leave that at 1,000 there. Bring it down to 960, bring it 850, and let's go like this. Okay. That seems good. Zeros on all those things. Keep it in the theaters a little bit longer, and away you go. Making some money here. This one's toast. It's only making $2,000 now. Only 7% of our 420 showing. So Borrowed Murder is definitely ending. Get it off the schedule. And We're on the Mend is going to be released now. My contract has expired, and I'd be happy to keep working together, assuming you're interested, of course. You're very cheap, Duncan. And because you're so cheap, and we're going to get to the point now in like 100 days where I'm going to be able to use you on 2 films, I am going to go 3 years with you because you're not that expensive for those 3 years. Let's get you medical insurance to make you even cheaper here. Only $28,000 for 3 years. And in about 95 days, you'll be able to work on 2 movies at once, which is fantastic. All right, we're on the Mend. So Bone Grinder hated it. It's just drivel. Same thing Hollywood's been producing over and over again. There's a lot of people involved in this one. Well, I guess it's a pretty standard number of people involved in it, right? We have Bandits. Yeah, this is a Lewis film. It's not a particularly great film, but we didn't spend a ton on it though, so maybe it'll make us some profit. Let's see. So it's in theaters now. Well, at least we didn't fail. Unsuccessful is better than failure, Elmer. This beating up an extra secret just will not go away. Need to get it going. Rakowski, you're all right. I'm out. I'm good. Leland, I would love to work with you again. Definitely. And we're going to get you on 3 movies. Yep. $47,000. We can cut into that a little bit with some medical insurance for you. There you go. All right. And then a 6.0 cinematographer for 210 is also pretty good. Again, we're going to go 3 years with you. Sorry, 3 movies with you. Grab the medical insurance, lower the bill. 3 movies for 21K seems fine. There you go, Fred. All right. Let's check in on the really good stuff. Lots of films being produced simultaneously. The studio's just very busy. That's great. And we're also out of debt now, remember? So this is actual money in our account. No problem. 6.6, 6.7. Okay, but stale elements because of the sidekick. We need to wait till May to release it, and then the sidekick will be fine. And I definitely don't want this to be stale because it's, well, really good stuff. Now, we also want some really good editors on this to help in keeping it in the 6s and 7s. Let me see how people's moods are. Yeah, there's no reason for a rap party here. Everybody's already 100% happiness, so there's no reason for a rap party. So we'll give this to the good people here. Beverly can take this. Lewis can take it. It's still going to drop it a little bit, but that's just the way it is. And we'll make sure we release this film after it's... you know, no longer stale. All right, cool. How much longer on... I was waiting on what? High quality locations. There was something that was very close, I thought. Didn't we have... Hold on. Didn't we have a thing from the mob I thought we had? Mafia family. Oh, somebody mentioned... This is what it was. So somebody pointed this out, and, you know, it's just a big whoopsie. Right? A lot of people pointed this out in the previous video. That lawsuit, I could have gotten an experienced lawyer from Fred Carpenter on that, and I might have won the lawsuit. I would have had a significantly higher chance of winning the lawsuit had I done that. I would have used 40 of my GP, and then I'd have to do him a favor in order to get more stuff for the party. But I just overlooked it. That's all it was. I just forgot that it existed, and that's what happens, you know? So one of the things I wanted to do now is... I want to withdraw money from the studio as cash. So there's been a couple of times where I could have paid cash for something, but I didn't have enough. I have $9,000 in cash. I got 2.4 million here. So I can use the Mafia's services to essentially wash the money. We're going to withdraw money from the studio as cash. And so we can acquire that. And it's a 1-for-1 ratio up to $50,000. So we're going to go ahead and do that. 50,000 bucks. And now I've got 59K in cash. And I'm a lot more flexible with this. I can definitely do this. I need to get some more GP here if I want to get some more blackmail material. So let's do the casino advertising. And what I need to do is get a star to go and visit his casinos for a little while. So we're going to have to go do that. And then I need to find whoever that star is going to be. They need a high commercial status in order to do it. And I may not be able to get anyone. It looks like nobody that I have currently under contract is available for that. That's within 90 days. So let's go in and see if we can't find an actress or an actor that we could potentially work with that. They need to be a star or higher, right? So somebody like this, but they need to be available. So right here, Nelly. Nelly could do it. She's a superstar. Nellie Mueller. She's expensive. Very expensive. You are a true artist. These are all artistic scores. I need an actual star. They need to be blue. Like that. So let's just go in and say free. So who's free? Who could potentially do it? Nelly seems like the best fit here. I don't think anyone else cheaper is going to have star status. Yeah. So we're going to have to hire Nelly for this. Okay, we can use them for roles as well, not just this, but they are very expensive. So maybe we'll go ahead and get them for, like, say 2 movies. That's so pricey. Oh my god, it's so expensive. Let's not get them on the health insurance because I might be a while until I actually use them for a movie. So 128,000 for 2 movies, or 183 for 3 movies. I think there is a bit of a bulk discount there, but I can afford it for now. So Nelly, you're hired for 3 movies. And also, I'm going to have to pay you to do this. So that's going to happen too. So you're just going to be raking in the money right now. Another 15K for you to do that. So Nelly's going to go to the casinos. That'll give me more GP with the Mafia. Not much, but it's something. It'll allow me to find dirt on people a little bit better later on. Or take more money and put it in cash later on too. Okay, Sidekick is coming in to be fresh again, and at least the leak risk here is now minimum on the beating up an extra over time. So my guys have done nothing to this. I think the only decreases that have happened have been because of time. And in fact, I think it would actually be gone by now if I didn't have anybody watching this, because the last guy I had on this, he failed. So he brought it back up. So yeah, it would have been better not to put anybody on that secret at all, I guess. Of course, maybe having somebody there is making it less likely to be discovered. I really don't know how that percentage is working. So this one can go. Sicilian Tiger can drop out. Okay, we need to be producing more. I don't know if we're ready for flat bottom here. Let's just go ahead and check producers. No, still 6.8. I still don't want that one. So let's go ahead and grab a different one. Hopefully something that's not going to make a lot of stuff go like this one here. It's going to make a lot of stuff go stale. Evil Monster, the water, maybe the water. This is going to impact Rival. That's pretty much it. Daring Adventure will then get on the chopping block too, but it's better than this one puts Sidekick back and Rival. This one does both. Yeah, okay. Let's go the water. We'll get somebody else to do the water. So this one can be Everett. We can give this to Everett. And we'll give you B1. There you go, Everett. B1, just like that. Okay. Film technology, there we go. I'll give you all the fixins to make it as good as you can. And then our producer can be Joe, because he's pretty close. Oh, hang on. Right, I have to renegotiate his contract. Never mind. We'll go back down to Ricardo. And then Roger could be that, but I think I'd rather have Harley for this film. I think I'd rather have Harley. Yeah. So what's this one? Libidinous. I don't want that. Worried wife. Okay, so you're fine here as Chast. Daring Adventurer. For this movie, let's get Donald. Can have Donald be our adventurer here. He hasn't done a whole lot for adventure movies yet. He's done a lot of action though. Maybe they're tired of him being in action movies. They could be. Harry Daniels could do it. He could. Conceited Calm. I don't know if that's good for an action movie though. I think you're saturated in action a bit more. Same thing with you. You've been in a lot of action movies lately. I kind of want to give you a break on that. So we'll go Harry here. The Rival could be Gerald. Yeah, Gerald. He's undisciplined though. Might cause us to have a couple of delays. But we'll go ahead and have him be the Rival for this. Our Worried Wife could be Opal. She's got one movie left. She hasn't really done that role yet, so I think that's okay. She's barely under the mark. I mean, we have some talent here that's kind of riding around the 7.0 area. I think with their good moods, that everyone's going to perform higher than their professionalism, so we should be able to keep this intact. Considering we're maxed out, we don't really have a whole lot of benefits to raising it up from here anyway. And then Evil Monster. Well, they can raise it to 8, can't they? Because the movie will shoot. It could be up to an 8. And then the Evil Monster. I don't really want to put you two in this movie. I want to put you in something different. Can I hire an Evil Monster for a relatively cheap cost? Yeah, this is an Evil Monster right here. Not for a relatively cheap cost. I'd have to bring Charlie back. I don't have to use your secret, though. I can wait on that. I can bring you back for one movie for 25,000 or 2 movies for 44,000. That's pretty good. 3 movies for 62. I'm definitely getting a discount there. And I'm not going to use your secret yet because it's not worth using it. Okay. So that'll be our Evil Monster. Continue that. And there we go. And they're all going to operate really well because of them being happy. And I think they'll perform above their professionalism score because of that. Our tiger-faced killer movie is now done. Didn't get hit very hard. I like it. It's okay. We're getting our editors and stuff a bit more experience here. Oliver's up to a 3.2 now. They're going to be much more better. Yeah, they're going to be much more better. Let's get 6 weeks out. So it pushes it to here. It's going to be solo. I kind of don't like that. It's not worth spending more money per copy, though. Yeah, I don't think... Not for this movie. If it was a higher-end film, then yeah, but no, not for this movie. So we're just going to place this in the schedule with, like, something like that. And bring you down to there, bring you down to there, bring you down to there. We'll get the advertising going. We'll say it's probably from here. 100% on that point. Maybe we renew it for a little bit. I don't know if it's worth the advertising, though, to do that. And then this movie is a romance, corrupt official, generous, profound. Okay, so this is just a random idea script that I went with, I think. I didn't make this movie. I didn't make this script. So I'm going to advertise it, I think, towards just like men and boys kind of thing. So we'll go something like this. Maybe we get Spark. Maybe we get Spark unlocked. I think we'll unlock Spark and get them in this campaign. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how well that targets it, but we'll go like that. Okay. Getting more publications, more options is good too. Jokes at the table. Crazy. Like, I don't know what this movie's about. Like, it's been a week since I played it. I see stuff like this, and I'm just like, what were we doing here with our two criminal gangs and our hopeless romantic? God, it's horrible. What a horrible combination. These are just scripts that people write, and I bought them probably. Clyde is going to cost me so much money later. Oh, he's going to be so expensive. But now my post-production can be sped up greatly. Okay, story elements. Are we going to stay fresh? Looks like we are. Very good. Not that it matters because it's a junk movie. I got to time things better so that the junk movies don't make the elements stale for the good movies, you know? Compromising information is done for security. Dig up compromising information to instantly lure employees from competing studios or gain a serious bargaining chip in negotiations. All right, so we've got that done. I could go into beatings, kidnappings, get more experience for information, or I could come on over here and do some of these other things. Maybe accelerated training. I'm not really using that yet. 50% more experience for repelling an attack. Secret keepers. An agent will reduce the risk of secret leaking by 2 levels instead of 1 is probably pretty good. Illegal tendencies. Attempt to discover what sorts of illegal gifts an employee might prefer. If you please an employee with an illegal gift, they'll be delighted. If it's someone else's employee, they'll certainly remember you when your contract is up. This could be really good to have. It's only 150 days. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab that because it's a tool I can use. Head of security. 9 out of 10 people have skeletons in the closet. Well, I can't give you the exact figure, but you get the idea. Pick anyone, and you can probably dig up such dirt on them that your hair stands on end. Now we can search for dirt on our own employees and on other people's. You can't imagine how accommodating people can be when they're trembling over their little secrets, even if they're contracted to another studio. Yeah, I do want to do stuff like that. So if I come over to, let's say, no, not there. If I go over here to actors, and let's say I go to the employee center so I can see other people. Actually, this isn't the right screen to do this. I think you actually have to click stuff like this and then go with this. Yeah, I need to actually specifically say, let's search for dirt. And then go to, let's say, Gernstein. Maybe we search for dirt on Carol. Or Vivian. She's got some star power, too. I like that. She's only a 7, but we can use that. She's got star power and everything, too. Same thing with Jackson. Let's look it up for Vivian. Select an agent, and we'll say that Howard has a 43% chance of finding something, maybe. So we'll go organize surveillance with you there. And then we'll come over to Gernstein again. I'm really going to attack Gernstein with this stuff. And Tom Stone's an addict, so he probably likes drugs. You can certainly find something on him and, you know, give him the drugs he wants. I like these guys, though. Because they have artistic and commercial, they can appease for the critics as well. That's great. I might be able to win some awards with them later and stuff like that. So maybe we'll look into Harvey first. And we'll go with, let's say, Peter. All right. And then agent training. It's 1,500 in cash, 300 influence, but we can get somebody else trained. I'm not sure whether or not it's worth training someone from level 1 to level 2, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. And we'll see. So that raises them by 1 level. That could be pretty good. Now, I'm not allowed to hire any more agents because of that thing with the FSAA. So I might be able to, you know, repel that. That'd be nice if I could repeal that and get that off there so I could have more agents. But that means they're not, other studios are not allowed to have more either. So maybe that's all right. Maybe it's still okay. If I just make the agents I do have better, you know, if we're limited, I should make the ones I have better. That's where I'm going with that. So this is Riske 2. We did write this ourselves. We could start this project. It's not the end of the world here. It doesn't have to be a great movie. The fact that it came out a 6.4, it doesn't have to be great when it's out, when it's done. We can have Fred Jensen do this one with a small soundstage. Let's give him a bigger one if we can. Yeah, B2 is good. Give him a bigger soundstage to work with here. And there we go. This one has the unrequited love, rape, outcast, rival, but the love interest makes this harder to sell. It's going to come up again on August 11th, so I think we got some time there. And we're going to happen here. Let's give you all the fixins. So I guess we will try to make this as good as possible. Why not? Joe Sullivan. I think you're in on this one, man. Hot-tempered. Right, I just keep getting to the point where I know he's... how much are you going to cost me? Is it worth it? See, that's not worth it for one movie. One movie for one producer, it's just not worth it. So, no. That's just crazy bad. No. Well, that might have been for 1 year. Or is it not? Or does not matter? No. This is just for this movie. So, no. So, I'm going to keep that off. We'll renew you at a lower price later, I think. What can we get? Who can we get for this? Who's a better deal? Who's a better deal? Fernando's not bad, and he's cheerful. Upbeat, eternal optimist, easily survives professional failures and withstands conflicts and difficulty with colleagues. That's great. That sounds great. He can't be improved, though. That's the issue. For now, he can't be improved. I think I'll get Ralph instead. I know he's about the same price, but at least I get a longer term, and I get a better producer, so I guess we'll work with that. So, yeah, it's about the same, but I get a better producer out of it. So I guess that's fine. And then I can also get him for 3 movies right now for the discount. So we'll go with that. Also, he's a producer. So 3 years, because he's going to be able to do 2 projects. So that's not bad. Perfectionist, conceited. That's a lot of money that I wasn't planning on spending, though. We're going to start you off with 1 movie, okay? You get a better producer for the 1 movie. 37K. Okay, that's a little bit of a discount. 2 movies. That's what we're doing. Final. Go. There you go, Ralph. Okay. We'll renew your contract later if it seems like it's a good idea. So give Ralph this one. For the director, let's go... I could get Leland on this, I guess. Yeah. Leland can rock this one. Our outcast is going to be Edgar. He's on a timer. He's an addict. We'll get Edgar on this one. Love interest can be Christina. Yeah, probably Christina here. Damsel in distress. That's good. We'll have you do this one. And then rival. It could be Wayne. He's on a timer as well. We'll get you on that one. So I know my talent is a little under the score. Hopefully these guys bring it up. And again, everybody's really happy. So they're all going to perform higher than, you know, they're going to be improving the product because of how happy they are. I think that's a great thing. have you researched for another one here, please. We're on the mend. This one is making money, so we'll let it make some more money. We just had 34% of, so probably about here. This one is, I'm going to have to buy for this one. So let's go maybe 682 showings for just that week. Yeah, we'll go 940 here. Might as well just max that one out. It's not that much. And then we'll go like, say, 500 on that one. Yeah, so we'll do about this. And hopefully that works out for you. We got 3 movies in the theater at the same time right now, so it's getting pretty crowded. Toy Ship can go ahead and take a hike. It's getting crowded. But crowded is profitable because I'm making good decisions with money. At least I believe I am. The peanut gallery in the comments always likes to tell me when I'm doing something wrong, but I think we're doing pretty well. There's 7 security agents, so I can't have any more. Can we maybe get... We can vote to overturn this. We can do competitor espionage on somebody. Maybe Gernstein, we can attack them with our level 1. That's probably not great. I'd rather have our level 1s assigned to protecting things. Increase ticket prices. There we go. Sure. That'll help. Let's go ahead and put that initiative up for a vote. The increase in ticket prices. From 23 cents to 58. Wow, more than double. You kidding me right now? That's kind of wild. And I'm the second one to vote. That's great. I'm going to use, let's say, 400 influence to try to get that to push. Maybe 300. All right, Slapped. This is Wendy Carpenter's movie. Our tribal chief, Boone King, is a terrible dancer. Unless we do something, the dance scene will be a nightmare. So we can send him to dance classes. It's going to slow down the film for just 15 days, and we can use $1,500. So let's send him, have him dance in the crowd to hide how bad he is. That's interesting. Emergency extras. Yeah, no, I mean, this is going to have to be it. So we're going to do that one instead. Boone's a terrible dancer. All right. Ryan Doyle, our bootlegger. He's coming and he's like, hey, I've checked the competition and they're all just pathetic. Their bars stink of vomit. And there's just a bunch of bums hanging around. Normal, self-respecting people never go to places like that. We can do better than this, am I right? I want people thinking that celebrities treat my establishment as their private getaways. Hollywood actors would be perfect. Think you can help with this? Ask one of your people to visit one of my bars for a couple drinks. I'll owe you, partner. All right, so an actor and actress will visit one of your bars together within 3 months, or we'll have an actor visit one of your bars in 3 months. I like that because I have to pay 2 people. I'd rather just pay 1 person. So saving my best bottle for the occasion. Okay, so we're going to want to do that. Sherman didn't find anything, unfortunately. We'll have him look again. So I need to find a famous guest for his bar. And we're going to send... Let's send undisciplined Peter. You're up, buddy. Wow. That is expensive for one evening at his bar. That is insane. That is so expensive. I'm going to have to use his services because I'm paying for it. If I'm paying for his services like this, like I'm going to have to start using the bootleggers because I got 80 GP here, 110 now. Whoops. I need to do something with that. So these guys could threaten somebody, beat somebody up, could have that happen. Maybe we could do a beating. Any person you wish will be left in a pile on the sidewalk. Let's acquire this. And we're going to go over to Gernstein. I'm going to pick on him. We're going to go over to Gernstein and let's maybe we'll take out Carl Hudson here. Just take him out of commission, or Tom Stone, but like if I'm discovered somehow, I don't know how that works. I just want to take out their stars. They're going to make some great movies. I want to take out their stars. It looks like these guys don't even really have anybody that's famous. Oh my goodness. Wait, this is find illegal tendencies. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm beating somebody up here. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm beating somebody up. Yeah, I don't really know about beating up the women. I got an emotional conflict as a player with doing that. I don't know what's going on. I think, I'm going to take out the star. Is it better to take out an 8.0 or is it better to take out a 6.0 with the star, right? I feel like this guy might be attracting more sales for them, but maybe not. Obviously, yes, I could hit Tom Stone, but I'm looking for dirt on him so I could pull him from them. So I'm trying to acquire Tom. I don't want to beat him up. Same thing with Carol. I'm trying to acquire these guys by finding the dirt, right? So I don't want to beat them up right now. And then May, I have dirt on. I'm going to pull her too. So I don't want to beat them up. And I don't know. I got to think about hitting the ladies. So Carl, I think maybe I'll beat you both up. I think I'll choose you both. Yeah. Learned his travel routes and has cleaned off the old blood from the steel club. Great. We can also threaten. And we can threaten the women. That's okay. We can threaten the women. Threatening women is totally fine. We could definitely do that. Teresa. I'd like to get these guys to go threaten you. There you go. Sharpening his knife to threaten the relatives. Good. There we go. There we go. We could do that. Okay. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.